going on, everybody? It's Chaos311 here, and this is Descent Legends of the Dark. I haven't done a video in a long time, really. I haven't done a board game video in even a longer time, but this game is very cool. I've played about half the first mission so far with my family earlier tonight, and I figured I'll start a little campaign of my own and maybe do some recording of it and see how it goes. So this game is an app-based dungeon crawler based in the Descent universe. They say it's not technically Descent version 3. It's really made for, co-op, and it's very good for solo play because of the app basically runs the game. I know a lot of people don't like that. I tend to enjoy it because I tend to like to play solo games. So to each their own on that thing, but I'm pretty excited about it. So let's just jump right in, shall we? If you've played any Journeys of Middle Earth or Mansions of Madness 2nd, you'll be kind of understanding what's going on here. So we'll go new campaign. I turned the music off on the app just in case there is... Oh boy, hold on. Alright, I tried to clean off the iPad a little bit. It was really dirty. I didn't realize how dirty it was. So let's get going. Enter a party name. You can see my ugly mug in the background on the app. Apologize. Let's see. So let's go with Scows is... Whoops. Scows' army. Sure. Embark. So like I said, I turned off the music because I don't know if there's going to be any copyright issues with music on YouTube. It's so hard to know what to do anymore sometimes when it came to that stuff. We're doing standard. So there's some intro story stuff here. I do have the sound effects on and the voices on, but not the music.
The Uthuk Ilan, Waikar, the Undying, and his army of the undead, the Dragon Lords. 3 times has Terranov been brought to the brink of ruin, and 3 times have great heroes risen to save it. But those heroes are gone, and the evil has returned. The first of Terranov's 12 baronies has fallen to the Uthuk Ilan. The council dispatched a great army to meet the threat, sending the Uthuk scattering. But what was a single enemy became 10,000, as impossible to fight as smoke, but still as deadly as fire. Once again, darkness gathers. Uthuk stalk the wilds, the undead muster in the north, and another old enemy gathers its strength as the baronies falter.
I'll do the best I can with... I'm using an iPhone, as you can tell, to record this, so I apologize if it's not the best, but that's pretty much what I have. Okay. A small caravan has made camp along the road through the hanging woods. One group of travelers sits apart from the rest. 4 figures stare into the flames of their campfire, each with their own thoughts. The fire crackles, the only sound in the summer night. We've nearly made it. Tomorrow we'll be in Frostgate, and then we could send our letter to the Baroness. Does the bird ever talk back? She's a fire spirit. She doesn't talk exactly. It's more of an empathetic connection. Empathetic? I might have said that wrong. Who's this? So this is Brynn. Why write to Baroness Adeline? Since the accident that bonded me and Indris. Indris must be his bird, his phoenix. Well, we have to more or less wander and look for opportunities to learn more magic. I'm hoping that Baroness Adeline will let me study her ailerons, those majestic birds Forthin is so famous for. I think they might be magical too. What about the rest of you? What comes next once we reach Frostgate? Valerix, it doesn't matter. It has to matter. Silence reigns for a moment. Oh, I could just guess. How about we play a guessing game? Alright, Brynn. It's Brynn, right? Let's see. I think the group chooses. Alright, so we can make some choices here. Let's see what happens. You were a hardened mercenary? You're a runaway princess fleeing an arranged marriage. I doubt that's right. Let's try a hardened mercenary. You were a hardened mercenary. You took only jobs that aligned with your own moral code until you were betrayed. Now you're seeking vengeance, hot on the heels of your former captain. Vengeance isn't the marshal's way. We were trained to seek justice, which is a very different thing. But there aren't many marshals anymore. The Uthok attacked and nearly wiped us out before I completed my training. So Brynn has a little bit of a... She was in the marshals, it looks like, and they got wiped out pretty much. The Uthok are a scourge on us all. I'm so sorry, Brynn, if you ever want to talk. Galadin, you're next, I think. He's the funky-looking elf. You are riding a travelogue. You are hunting the White Hart. We picked this one, so let's do riding a travelogue. You are traveling over the world, riding a travelogue for well-to-do nobles in Dawnsmore or Lithlin. No. Well, what then? Did you lose someone to the Uthok too? Is that how you lost your hearing? I lost my hearing in early adulthood. It is very common in my bloodline, and I don't care to answer any more questions. Reading everyone's lips by firelight is draining enough without dwelling on my past. Pester Varix if you want to learn more of our pasts. It's their turn next. Leave me out of this. Oh, much too late, Varix. I think you are searching for, you are traveling to. You are searching for... Enough. My history is easy to guess. I did not tear my own wings to shreds. The hybrid drags one talon across the tattered massive scars along one arm, all that remains of their wings. As for the one who tore them and why, that information is private. I will not share it with a chance met traveling companions who happen to be escorting the same caravan. The Dragon Lord who attacked Kel, did you have anything to do with... The time when all my kin served the Dragon Lords is long past. Some still do, but others have found a different path, a better path. I serve no dragon. Let's focus on the caravan. I saw lights through the trees, not that far away. A guard tower? One of the barony's watchtowers guarding the north, yes. With them so close by, we should have an uneventful night. The caravan settles down for the night, merchants and hostlers spreading out into the surrounding woods for privacy and comfort. Surely, with the watchtower close by, they will be safe. Surely. Select heroes for this quest. The quest requires 2 to 4 heroes, and players may choose a different arrangement of heroes for each quest. So there's 6 heroes in the game, only 4 available right now. I apologize, there's going to be a little bit of glare coming off the side here at times. So I was going to go with Brynn because she's a fighter and she looks pretty cool. Her helmet's a little goofy. But she's got the most hit points. She's kind of tanky. And then I was going to go with... I was thinking about going with Cyrix, the mage. But I might go with Varix here because he actually has a heal. Respite. And having a heal playing through the first mission the first time really... might be beneficial. He could suffer 2 fatigue, which you put on the cards. You can see these cards have... His character card has a fatigue limit, and also the weapons do too. So if you suffer fatigue against this ability, 2 fatigue, you can put it on either his character or his weapon. And if he does that during his turn, him or an adjacent hero heals 2 damage, which could be useful. So I'm going to go with him. Alright, so we have Brynn.
Have no fear, my friends.
I won't. And Varix.
Don't lose sight
That's
of the goal.
That's what his voice sounds like. Okay. Even if we are near a watchtower, we should set a watch, Brynn says. Any volunteers? As a group, choose which hero will be on watch. Well, we can't take Cyrus or Galadin since they're not in the group right now. Who's got a better vision? Probably Varix. I don't know if the dragons have good vision in this game. We'll say Varix. I'll take the first watch to get it over with, says Varix with a irritated click of their claws. Varix is on watch. Continue. At first, the night passes uneventfully, with Varix watching over the others as they sleep. But, of course, no great tale begins on a quiet night. Varix spots movement in the shadows not far from the caravan. In the dark, shapes too sinister to be animals pass between trees and linger behind bushes. Something is not right. Alright, this just tells us welcome to the app and explains that this is a tutorial mission. The movement of the dark draws Varix toward a nearby lake. Alright, and now we get to actually start to place some tiles down. 10B and some water. Alright, we got our tiles on the table. Blah, blah, blah. Underlays of mechanical effects, basically saying the water has an effect. Basically, it slows your movement. It describes how the app works. Alright, to the west of the lake, dark shapes twitch and flitter among creakily swaying branches. Place one insight token. These are basically like sight tokens that were in Mansions of Madness. They open up parts of the map. To the east of the lake, the pathway continues. The darkness, a friend to bandits and mercenaries. You cannot shake the feeling of being watched. Place one sight token. So I'm going to place another one here. These are sight tokens. When a hero moves adjacent to one, and adjacent in this game is also diagonal, immediately resolve its effect by dragging the hero's portrait to the token, blah, blah, blah. In the darkness and lost in thought, you stray a little further from the camp than intended on your watch. Place Varix on the highlighted space. The rest of the party will be placed later. Alright, so Varix, here's his model. The models are really nice in this. They're not made from the normal. I am not a model connoisseur, but I know they're not made from the normal Fantasy Flight stuff, like the softer material. These feel like models. Maybe they're using the same thing that Warhammer guys use. I'm not sure though. But it's definitely a better quality than they've had in the past. So Varix starts here. Try to keep my finger away from this lens. Investigate the darkness around the lake. Hero phase. Saving. Alright, here we go. So, a quick look at what you can do on your turn. I'm not going to go over too many rules. I'm just going to play as we go. If you have questions, you can ask them in the comments. During your turn, you may perform one maneuver and two additional actions. So you could always do a maneuver, which is gaining movement points equal to your speed. And then you could do two additional actions. Explore, interact with a terrain or a token. Fight, attack an enemy within range. Do another maneuver. Ready, flip a card. So these cards are double-sided. So let's go to Varix here, for example. This is his one side. This is the side that has his heal on it. He has 3 fatigue on this side. The green is his speed. The heart, of course, is his health. The blue die for attack. Orange die for defense. If he has to do skill checks, you subtract or add to your successes based on what ability is used. So he's good at insight and will. Agility, he's average, I guess, or just, yeah. And might, he's not good at. But he also has a second side. Most of the stuff here is the same. Sometimes the fatigue will be different, but the ability here is different. So on this side, if you have this side up, you can heal. On this side, you can add a surge for 2 fatigue to your attack. And here's their surge abilities, which seem to be the same on both sides. The other thing is you also have cards. Your weapons are double-sided. So he has a spear, which does pierce damage. It has reach, which means he could attack from 2 spaces away. It does 3 damage for every success. It has its own surge ability to add 2 success and enfeeble the enemy, and the weapon itself has a fatigue. And then on the other side, he has an Iron Thorn Warbell, which is crush damage, 3 per hit. A surge during your attack, add 2 success and expose the enemy, and also 2 fatigue. So that's what his setup is like. I guess we can go quickly over to... we also have these health dials to keep track of your health. Brynn, more of the fighter, 3 speed, 10 health, black dies for both attack and defense. Good at might and will, agility and sight, not good. This side only has 1 fatigue, and it's just outmaneuver. For an action, you can shift 3. Now, shift 3 is move in 3 spaces without worrying about getting stopped by enemies. There's a mechanic in this game where if you go next to an enemy, adjacent to them, no matter if you have movement left, you have to stop moving. Shift means you don't have to do that, so you can move around enemies and through them, next to them and all that. So she can shift 3 and then attack an enemy. So all for 1 action. She can move 3 and attack an enemy, but then she has to flip the card. And then on the other side, she has 3 fatigue on this side. Everything else similar, except for her steady defense. For 2 fatigue during you or an adjacent hero's defense, add a success. So she has a weighted Warhammer, which is crush damage, 3 damage per hit, 2 fatigue during your attack, add 1 success. After this attack, you may move the enemy 1 space away from you. And she also has a Warden's Blade, 3 damage slashing, 2 fatigue during your attack or defense. If you are adjacent to another hero, add a success. So when she has a sword out, if she's next to an ally, she actually could do more damage. Okay, all right, let's get moving. So Varix is starting. He's here on his own. Sorry about that. I'm trying to not get my fingers in here. Let's go to the search. I guess the only thing we can do is get adjacent to these search tokens. So Varix has a movement of 3. So you get 3 actions per turn. One of them, you get a maneuver, which is movement, plus 2 actions. You could do your other actions as many times as you want. So you could actually move 3 times. You can move and attack twice. So you could double up on actions. So Varix is going to move 1, 2. And since he gets adjacent to this, he automatically has to open it up. The way you do that is in the app. You drag the character and point it to the token. Boom. Thick clouds roll in, blocking what little light the moon provided. But as your eyes adjust, the path becomes clear to you. A cry for help echoes in the darkness. Discard this sight token. Alright, we'll discard it. Uh-oh, more map. Alright, here's our map laid out. Varix sitting there opening up the map. We have a little bit more of a walkway, more water below, going all the way out to there. So let's continue. Place 1 tree. Oh, we got trees. So we put a tree here. You can interact with the trees. From what happened in the first game, we did a little bit of interacting with them. We were able to eat fruit to heal ourselves. Grab some bushes, go through the bushes. I think we found some crafting materials maybe in there. You can also try to climb the tree, but the person who did that failed, so we didn't see what happened. Alright, most terrain is interactable. You can basically click on it on the app, and it'll tell you what you can do. The pathway winds around a small lake. Place 1 sight token. Alright. Uh-oh. Spawn the following enemy. Wolf. I haven't seen them yet. So wolf, so that is an orange icon next to the wolf. I'll show you in a second how that works. You can actually put something underneath the model to let you know this is the orange wolf. So if there's more wolves that come out, they probably have different colors to kind of, so you know which one is which the app is wanting you to maneuver or activate. All right, here's our wolf model. So these models are really nice. So this orange token I added to it because it had an orange token on the app, as you can see here. And you can see it's just a little square that you add to the bottom that easily come off to be replaced. Just pop it off, put a new one in. These things also have, from my understanding, is they have different tags on them. So there's a 1 here, 4, 3, and 2 little notches. I believe that is what they said is to help for colorblind people. If they can't tell the color, then you could go by by these notches to help determine what color is being used. I guess you could say all the oranges would be 1, all the greens would be 2. I don't know how that would work. I am not colorblind, so I don't know the difficulties of that personally. So how helpful that is. Hopefully it's helpful for people. Okay, so we will maneuver the wolf onto the board right here from Varix, and we will see what happens next. Oh my god, and a berserker, an Uthak. I forgot how to pronounce it. Uthak prowls in the darkness. Spawn a orange berserker. These guys suck, if I remember right from earlier. Let's see, which one's the berserker? Yeah, it's this guy. He's got the funky hands. We actually fought with 4 players, a similar batch to this. I was hoping in a 2-player game there'd be less. Maybe they have less health. There has to be a way that they determine that. So I'll add the little orange token there for the berserker. Here's this guy. This guy did a lot of damage on his attacks. Not happy to see him right away. Alright, so he's out there. Alright, you are under attack. The hero may perform a fight action against an enemy within range and line of sight by dragging the hero portrait to the enemy's portrait. At the sounds of battle, your companions jump into action. Place the remaining heroes on the highlighted spaces. So here's where everybody else can come into the fight. So we'll put Brynn. Here's her model, by the way. I like how on the base they actually have terrain and stuff instead of just a flat base. We'll Brynn down here. Actually, 1 back. It's the first 4 spaces. Alright. Defeat the enemies. During the hero phase, each hero takes a turn. During that turn, you may perform up to 3 actions, 1 maneuver, and 2 additional actions. After Varric finishes their turn, each other hero may take a turn. After all heroes have finished their turns, remember to end the phase. So I'm assuming Varric already started with a maneuver. You get 1 free maneuver, 2 actions. So he only moved up 2 spaces, and he has 3 movement. So he has another movement space, so he's going to move here. And with the spear here, he has reach, which means he can attack from 2 spaces away. And as you can see, he's 2 spaces away, diagonal 1, 2, as long as it's within line of sight. Line of sight is basically through enemies, through characters or models. Terrain could block it, and if you line of sight off of the map. So if you're standing like here, for example, and an enemy is standing here, line of sight goes from middle space to middle space. As long as if it goes off the map at all, that's a block. Or if it goes through terrain, it's blocked. But models is fine. So he's 2 spaces away, so let's get going. Varix is using his Spear. He gets a blue die for attack. So let's use that. So you're looking for successes, which are stars. Pluses, you could add a fatigue to change that to a success. And then the surge is to use whatever surge abilities you have available. He doesn't have any in his weapon, but he has one on his character card here. Alright, let's see what we can do. So we got a success and a surge. So first, we kind of jumped ahead. We need to actually let them know I'm attacking. So you grab Varix, you drag him to the wolf. You tell him what weapon we're using, which is the spear. And here we go. Sorry about that. Got ahead of myself. The wolf has 24 health. What? And 1 armor. Now that armor is random. It doesn't always trigger. So say you do 8 damage. You're either going to do 7 because that armor is going to block 1, or 8 because the armor doesn't block that turn. The app takes care of that. Here is Varix. Here is the wolf. The wolf, all the enemies have weaknesses. You don't know what the weaknesses are until you actually hit them with that type of weapon. So this spear is piercing. If you hit them with a weak weapon, you do an additional point of damage for each success you get. And most enemies have some kind of ability up here. So he's feral. After the attack, this enemy shifts 1 space toward you. Then, if it is adjacent to you, you suffer 1 damage. Oh, that's shitty. So the app will remind you of that too. So it says after the attack. Okay. And also weapons can have, like this one, the spear has enfeeble. If you spend a surge during your attack, add 2 successes and enfeeble the enemy. So if you have something like that, you click status, you add the status that you're going to use, and the app takes care of it. So we have 1 success on our die. And we are going to use our surge. What our spear has here, 1 surge during your attack, add 2 successes and enfeeble the enemy. So we're going to add 2 successes, enfeeble the enemy. Now enfeeble, I believe, is 20% enemy minus 20% enemy attack damage. It makes them attack for less, so that's good. That's not going to affect our suffer damage there at all. So the way this works basically is we have 3 successes. This spear does 3 damage per success. So we're looking at 9 damage. If the wolf blocks 1, it'll be 8 damage. If not, it should be 9 damage. And the enfeeblement should hit him. The statuses on enemies, I believe, are there until the end of the round. So if you enfeeble or you do something early to a guy, you know, it's not until the next round comes. All the heroes after you get, you know, the benefit of that enemy having something on them. I know there's one that makes them take more damage, so you can kind of set up a little combo with that. Alright, let's continue. Boom, 8 damage. Now if you want to check, you can click here, you can see what happened. 9 base damage, 3 per hit. He actually blocked 1, so his block triggered this time. So you can always click that and kind of see how the calculation happened. He wasn't weak to piercing, unfortunately, so we didn't do any extra damage. It would have registered already. So we went down to 16 health. Continue. So now this will pop up. Feral. After the attack, this enemy shifts 1 space towards you. Then, if it is adjacent, you suffer a damage. So he's going to shift 1 space toward me. And then do a damage to me, because he is adjacent. So we're at 7 health. And we have 1 action left with Varix here. So he will definitely attack again, I think. Of course, that wolf will do another damage to him, but we gotta try to take him out. So, with 1 action left, you can attack again. We can maneuver. Now, if you start next to an enemy, and let's double check. Now, this is cool. I have a glossary here that you can look up terms. You can also look up on how line of sight works for the map you're on at the moment. Your quest log. But we're gonna go to glossary and we're gonna search for impeded, because that's or impede, because that is a thing about movement in this game, which is interesting. Heroes and enemies can become impeded, making it more difficult for them to move. A hero is impeded if they are adjacent to an enemy, which we are. If a hero is impeded when they perform a maneuver, they can only gain 1 movement point. So since we're starting adjacent to him, if we wanted to move away, we normally get 3 movement points, but we'll only get 1 this turn, actually, because we are starting next to the enemy. If a hero becomes impeded during their turn, they lose all their unspent movement points. So say we were starting here, and we had 4 movement, for example, and we wanted to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Once we go next to the enemy, we just lose the rest of it. So it's kind of an engaged and disengaged type of thing here going. An enemy is impeded if they're adjacent to a hero. Enemies work the same way. An enemy will become impeded only if it's doing so best satisfies the other target and movement criteria, allowing the enemy to take its highest priority target. So they're trying to say, when you move the enemies around, try not to impede them unless it affects exactly what they want to do. So you can still move, it just affects your movement points, they're saying. So, alright, well, let's attack this guy again. Well, we'll say, I have 1 action left. I can attack. I could flip my spear over to my war bell, which might do some more damage because it could expose the enemy. The problem is it takes an action to flip your card, so that would be done with my turn. So I'm just going to attack with my spear again. Let's go. Alright, same trigger here. Unfortunately, he's not weak to the spear. He might be weak to the war bell, which would be nice if he was weak to the spear, but he's not. You know, the spear has reach and can still attack if it's adjacent. So let's try to get a couple successes this time. We got the same thing. Success and a surge. So we do the same thing again. We're going to do 1 success and then spend our surge on our spear, which gives us 2 successes and enfeeblement. Now he's already enfeebled, so we can't enfeeble him again. But we can't get the 2 successes. So let's confirm. That time we did 8 damage again, so he did block 1. And he's down to 8 health. Continue. After the attack, the enemy shifts 1 space toward you. Then, if it is adjacent to you, you suffer 1 damage. So I guess he's going to do that again. Let's see what toward means, because he's already next to me. See if that's even in the app. No. I don't see anything here about toward or... Okay. I assume he's gonna... Well, it shifts 1 space toward you. Then, so he doesn't have to shift 1 space toward me. But then it says then, so he does that. Then, if it is adjacent, you suffer a damage. So I think we're gonna suffer another damage. I don't think he has to move because he's already next to me. So these wolves suck because they're hitting you. Okay, 6 damage. All right, continue. And that is the end of Eric's turn, so we are now on Brynn's turn. Brynn is going to use her shift, her outmaneuver ability, so she could use that. That she has to flip her card, though. You know, that's not a bad idea, because that gets right to defense. That is an action, though. She could also just move. She's 3 away, but if she does that, she can get there next to the wolf, attack, and then flip the card to get ready for defense next round. So I think we're going to do that. She also has a maneuver for 3. She could just move there. She'll still have a maneuver left after this, but she still gets to attack twice if she does it this way. So we're going to shift 3. 1, 2, 3. Get right up next to the wolf. Then attack an enemy. After this attack, flip this card. Alright, so she attacks with the black die. As you can see, she has her weighted warhammer. Okay. We're rolling ahead. Let's trigger the attack. Boom. Weighted warhammer. Alright, there we go. So we got 2 successes and 2 fatigues. So let's put the 2 successes in. So she hits for 3. That's 6 damage. That's not going to kill the wolf. Plus you could maybe block it. I know the wolf, if it's alive, is going to hit us if we don't kill it. So I'd like to get rid of it as possible. If we do one more attack, we do 9 damage. We should be able to take him out then. So if we add 2 fatigue, during your attack, add 1 success. For 2 fatigue on that weapon. That's pretty much all we can do. So, with what we have, I apologize for the glare. Let's do it. 2 fatigue. Now, if you use the weapon's ability, it has to go on the weapon, the fatigue. It can't go on the card. But if you spend a fatigue in other ways, you could split it up. We also, well, you know what? We don't need to do that. We don't need to do that because I forgot. I have 2 advantages. So the stars are successes and the pluses are advantages. If you spend a fatigue for an advantage, you get an extra success. So let's do that. We're going to put it on the her card. Since we're spending on dice, we could place it on either her card or the weapon. If you do like the weapon's actual ability, it has to go on the weapon. The reason we're going to do this is when you flip your card, any tokens on your card get discarded. So we're going to lose this fatigue once we flip the card for this ability that we did. So that's an extra success. So that's 3 damage. 3 successes, which is 9 damage. If he blocks it, he should still get killed. He has 8 health left. Let's check that out.
For justice.
The
We're
4.
forthing.
Yes, for justice. 8 damage on the wolf. Continue. Your foe crumbles to the ground, so we kill him before he gets to retaliate on us. Remove the wolf. Alright, and now, then attack the enemy. After this attack, flip this card. We lose our fatigue, because we flip the card. And we flip it over. And now, basically, we don't have our maneuver ability, we have a defensive ability available to us. Alright, so that was all one action. Moving, attacking, flipping. Normally flipping's an action, attacking is an action, and moving could be an action. So we have that berserker way far away. I don't know if we want to get up in his face. Right now. The berserker has 18 health and 1 armor. It doesn't say what his speed is or anything, so I don't know how fast he is. Anger. He's angry though. This enemy's damage is permanently increased by 1. So I can't see his speed. So we could get up to that tree and look at it. Not really necessary though. I kind of don't want to just end my turn and do nothing though. That's kind of not very good. We could move over and check out this site token. That's free. We have a free maneuver still. 1, 2, 3 will be adjacent to it. Or we could move up 3 to get to the tree. Or we could move up 3 to get to this site token, but then we're right by him. I kind of want to stay away from him a little bit in case he can't reach us. Now let's open up this site token. 1, 2, 3. That's our free maneuver for the turn. We have a site token right there. Oops. The pathway around the lake becomes clear. Discard both site tokens. Okay. added a little bit of a... Okay, we added a path. Uh-oh, that means he might be coming to get me now. Alright. So we added the path right here. Connected a little bit of the another way around. And we're putting a tree over here. And we're adding a zealot. Oh, shoot. Don't like the zealots. The zealots suck. These are zealots. Little hunchback dudes with some fire wand, and they make other guys stronger, I believe, so. And he is going to go right here, unfortunately. Alright, so we have another action. We have an actual action left. I don't think I want to charge ahead because I won't be able to do anything but get smacked. I think we're going to actually do another maneuver back. 1, 2, 3 to get by Varix, because we have this defense where during your or an adjacent hero's defense add a success. So Brynn is set up for a defensive. She has to be adjacent to Varix to help him out with it, though. So I think we're going to do that. Okay. So both heroes went, so now we end phase. And it's the darkness. Resolve infection and terror. Those are things that could be on cards. If you have any, you have to resolve them. I believe infection, terror. Let's see if it says anything on this. Infection. When time passes, suffer 1 damage for each infected card. Terror. When time passes, suffer 1 fatigue for each terrified card. So infection does damage to you over time, and terror does fatigue damage over time. Each hero may discard 1 fatigue. We don't have any on our cards, so we're okay there. Ugh, Berserker. Target Varix. So they get a target. If they can't get to their target for whatever reason to attack, then they change their target to the closest hero. And if they can't get to the closest hero, I think they just try to move as close as they can to the enemies. Bloodlust. After the defense, the Berserker shifts 1 toward and attacks a second hero if possible. Oh, damn. Alright. So he's going to move 4 spaces to try to get toward Varix. Now we stayed pretty far away from him, so 1, 2, 3, 4. He can't get there. 1, 2, 3, 4. But he's going to approach the enemies. Interrupt, I believe if we could do something to interrupt during an enemy's turn or movement or something, we would use that interrupt button. But the Berserker is done. He doesn't get to attack because he doesn't have any range. Zealot, though. Varix, Ichor Lash. After rolling dice, if the target did not roll a surge, so as defense, they infect their hero card. Ugh. So he has 3 range. Moves 3. 3 damage. Okay. So you can do range over the water. So he needs to get somewhere where he's at least 3 spaces away from us. So 1, 2, 3. He can go here. He can go here. 1, 2, 3. He's not going to go any closer than his maximum range. So I think he'll go, if he goes here, he goes 1, 2, 3, and he get Varix over that water. So he's going to do that. I'll show you in a second in the app. You can check line of sight in case you're not sure about how it works. It'll tell you actually from your space at the moment of during the game with the trees down and everything where your line of sight is. It's pretty cool in case you're not sure on how it works. So that really blows. So after rolling dice, the target did not roll a surge. They infect their hero card. So 3 damage on Varix. Varix has an orange for defense. So we do get to try to block these. Every success blocks a damage. So he's doing 3 damage to us right now. We got a surge, good, and we got one success. So that blocks one. The surge stops us from being infected. We have add one success, and any hero may discard one condition. So we're going to add another success for our surge. So that's 2. That leaves 1 damage left. And we do a Brynn here. 2 fatigue. During you or an adjacent hero's defense, add a success. So might as well use it. That's why we set it up. She has 3 fatigue on this side. We'll spend 2. So that's 3 successes total, which means we block all the damage. So we take no damage. Nice. Done. The Zealot screams. An alien incantation. Foreign, but for a single name. Varix. So I think those are kind of setting up that Varix might be the target of the enemy's next round. So watch, try to keep him safe. And we are at the hero phase again. Saving. Alright, I'd like to do at least one more round here in this video. I know my phone is starting to die a bit. I got the 20% battery warning. But if we can get one more round of attacks around each character, I think that'd be a nice start to this. What I do like about this is you can actually put this away. It saves where you're at. It saves everything. You take pictures of your characters and where the fatigue is and everything, and you can easily reset it up later to continue. Like, a lot of problems I ended up having when I was trying to record board games in the past was that I really only have our kitchen table to play on. And some of these big board games like Gloomhaven or even Old Descent would be like, it would take a few days for me to record a whole episode, and my wife would be like, "Are you going to clean up the table so we could have dinner?" Like, well, maybe. So with this, I kind of like the fact that the way it saves in the app, you can easily, take a picture on your phone of your character's cards to see your fatigue, your health, how everything's set up. You can easily come back, put the stuff away, and replace it on the table to, continue recording, which I think is neat. All right. Anyway, we are up. So let's see. This, enemy-wise, the Berserker has 18 health with 1 damage, 1 block, and the Zealot has 18 health with 1 block. We don't know what the weaknesses are yet. I think we're going to start with Varix again, though, because Varix is... He's already within reach with this piercing spear on this guy, and he can already attack. We can find out if we have a weakness there, too, on this Berserker. So we're going to go with that. So Varix's spear, we're going to try to move a little faster now when it comes to attacking. I kind of explained how some of this works. If there's something that's important to show. But other than that, we're going to start moving a little quicker, I hope. Blue die, Varix attacking the Berserker with the spear. Anger, the enemy's damage is permanently increased by 1. Berserker. Alright. So we get a success and a surge. So 1 success hits. Varix's surge ability, add a success, and any hero may discard a condition. We will do that. So that's 2 successes in the app. I'm sorry, sometimes when I'm thinking, I might kind of have the phone off to the side. Like, this is like a blank area that is nothing's happening. I apologize if that happens. So we have 2 successes, which is, at this moment, is 6 damage. 5 to 6 damage. You know what? I'm not going to do this surge. I am going to do the surge on the weapon because that makes more sense. 1 surge. During your attack, add 2 successes and enfeeble the enemy. That's what I should do. So that's 3 with an enfeeblement. Let's be smart about this. Okay. So let's confirm that. 11 damage. Ooh, and he is weak to piercing damage, which means if we look, we did 9 damage, 3 per hit, plus 3 weakness. 1, if he's weak, you get 1 extra damage per success. And he did block 1, so he's down to 7 health with that. That was nice. So that was our first action, and we're going to do the same thing again. We're attacking with the spear. He's weak to it. And we're going to go to town with this guy. So Let's continue. 1 success and a advantage. So we can spend a fatigue to get another success. So right now successes are 4 damage. So we're going to definitely spend that fatigue. We'll put it on Varix because that's going to give us 2 successes. Right now we know, because he's weak, it's 4 damage per hit. He has 7 health, and he can only block 1. So this should easily take him out. And I think Varix is going to do also 2 fatigue. During your turn, you or an adjacent hero heals 2. After this attack, we'll do that. So this should take him out.
How many more must die this way?
Nice. Your foe crumbles to the ground. Remove 1 berserker. Nice. And then we're going to take the 2 fatigue on Varix. And we're going to heal 2. Get him back up to max health. Back up to 8. It did mention his name coming up next. So he may be getting targeted next for sure. So I might as well heal him up. Alright, so that is 2 actions. We haven't moved yet. There's no reason to move, really. Well, I mean, we could. What I think I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to flip this card. He did his heal. So for his... Oh, wait. No, I can't do that. I'm sorry. You can do 2 actions and a maneuver. I did 2 attacks. So that's where both actions. I can't flip his card. I actually have to maneuver him. Well, if that's the case, he can move 3. So we might as well... We'll go around this way. 1, 2, 3. Start heading this way. And then Varix is done. So now we are with Brynn. Unfortunately for Brynn, she only has 3 movement. We have the slowest group here. The other 2 characters have 4 movement, I believe. So having 3 does limit you. So Brynn's going to have to move. It's either 2 moves and then attack. Alright, so first she's going to do her maneuver. 1, 2, 3. You can go diagonal over these at corners. Then I think I'm going to flip her card. For an action, and then I'm going to use outmaneuver, shift 3, and then attack an enemy, and then flip this card. So she's going to shift 3, which means she can actually shift. When you shift, remember earlier I said if you move next to an enemy, you lose your movement. Shifting does not that doesn't happen. So shifting is kind of like a movement that you don't get impeded with. It's kind of like a disengage in D&D. So if I moved here normally, I would be done because I'm a space away. But I'm going to shift 3, so I'm going to get like behind her a little bit. And then I get to an attack and then flip that card. So we're going to attack with our weighted Warhammer. Crush damage. We still have this card up. So Brynn on the Zealot. Weighted Warhammer. A random enemy adds 2 damage to its next activation. 2 successes to its next activation. Alright, and we're going to attack with black. So let's go. 2 successes. So this guy's 18 health with 1 defense. We don't know what he's weak to yet. Hopefully he's weak to crushing. So if we wanted to fatigue up our Warhammer, we can add another success. I think we're going to do that. 2 fatigue. During your attack, add 1 success. After this attack, you may move the enemy 1 space away from you. During your attack, add 1 success. We get 3 successes. Alright. And no statuses on this thing. Nope. So let's just see what happens. Oh, he is not weak to it. But he takes all the damage. 3 per hit. His defense didn't trigger this turn. 0 defense. So that's good. So he went down to 9 damage. Okay. Unfortunately, that is it. We gotta flip Brynn over, but that's okay because it means her defense is triggered. So that's the good thing about outmaneuvers. You can use that to get up to an enemy and attack, and then you get a free flip. So the next round, your defense is going to be available to you. The problem is that she's not adjacent to Varix, and it is now. So we did a move, then we did an action on her card to do her outmaneuver. Oh, wait a minute. So we did a move. We went 1, 2, 3. Then we did her move to get behind and attack. So we still have another action. Yeah, we do. Let's attack again. I hope I'm right about that, right? Yeah, we moved. 1, 2, 3. Then we did our free maneuver, and we did our card ability, which let us move and attack on the same turn, and so we still have an action left. All right, let's do it. 2 successes. Unfortunately, we don't have any fatigue left on this Warhammer to cause another success, which would get us possibly to kill this thing. So that means we are probably gonna get smacked by it, but it's okay. Confirm. Down to 3 damage. He didn't block again, but he is still alive, unfortunately. Now that is the end of our turn, officially. So let's end phase. Resolve Infection and Terror. Each hero may discard 1 fatigue. So take a fatigue off Varix. We'll take a fatigue off of the Warhammer. Nobody's infected or terrored. The Zealot completes their incantation as a dark shadow descends on Varix. Varix tests Will 7. Add 1 blue die for each adjacent hero. That doesn't sound really good at all. Okay. Will 7. Well, his will is +2. So he gets 2 successes. So when you do a test, you roll 2 black dice, you add the successes. You can use fatigue to get more successes, and then you either add or subtract based on the test. So we get +2. So if we get 5 successes, we actually pass this. And we get 5 successes of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we needed 7, so we pass. Alright, well, he's still going to do an attack, but that would have been something else he did. They don't like Varix, do they? Okay. Enraged at your resilience, the Zealot attacks. So he's already 3 away, so he doesn't have to move. He's going to do 3 damage to us. We get a orange die to block. So we'll get a 3 damage. 2 successes. If we want to spend a fatigue, we can get 3 successes and actually take no damage. I think we will do that. Might as well. We have the space on our character card. No damage. Done. The Zealot screams a final incantation as their flesh glows red and bands of light issue from their wounds. Hero phase, saving game, and we are done for today. My phone's about to die. So that is part 1 of our Journeys in the Dark. Hopefully you guys... Journeys in the Dark. Is that what it's called? Legends of the Dark. Mixing up all the FFG games in one big... Lord of the Descent, Journeys in the Dark. Mansions of Darkness. Anyway, so that's part 1 of our playthrough here. We're going to stop here. We got a little farther with the family earlier today when we played. We actually continued on in the map and some more stuff happened. So I'll continue on hopefully later with that. Yeah, and we will continue on next time. We still have an enemy out here. I think we have to kill that enemy to continue the map. The map will open up more once all enemies are defeated. But we will, and the Zealot only has a handful of health left. 3 health left, so he'll be dead. Probably, hopefully next attack will kill him, and then we'll be able to move up and continue on with the story. So thanks for watching, those who did. I appreciate it. It's been a long time since I did any videos. I would like to continue doing videos of this. Hopefully I can get them out at a decent rate. And I hope you guys enjoy them. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you later. Bye.